Good morning. I'm Rosemary DiTrolio, and you're listening to The Lightwalker's Path. It's a place to develop new insights, find your soul's purpose, hear enlightening conversation, and be inspired. Good morning. I'm Rosemary DiTrolio and the host of The Lightwalker's Path, Grow Your Spirit with Rosemary. We're streaming on multiple live platforms right now at 10 Eastern, and you can find your soul's purpose, hear enlightening conversations, and be inspired. You can find replays on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other streaming platforms, and also on my own website at rosemaryd.com. And today I wanted to switch it up a little bit with just a conversation, not necessarily an interview, because a good friend of mine will be on with me today. My purpose is to help people safely connect with the divine realm through sessions, readings, workshops, self-study, and of course this podcast. And my good friend Gina and I were teachers together many, many years ago. And I had trained Gina in Reiki years ago. And she is amazing in her own right as an animal communicator and animal specialist and Reiki master teacher. She also does some other interesting things that you may be really wonderful for you to hear, especially if you're a pet owner. So I want to welcome my good friend Gina to the podcast today.
Hi,
Hi, Gina.
Rosemary.
Oh, it's
Thanks
great
for
to see
having me
you
here.
this morning. Great to see you.
It's
So I
great to be
thought
here.
we would switch it up. I know we talk every day on the phone and we have these great conversations. And it started the other day when I said, Gina, let's just have a conversation and talk about like how a person knows they're ready for a path and how our clients know. And we've had this discussion before that when someone's ready, they're ready. So let's talk about how you know your clients are ready to jump in and learn with you.
Well, it's funny. We always keep saying back and forth that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And so
Yes.
that seems to be like the first indicator that you know that someone is ready because they start asking you, "Oh, what do you do?" And do you do that? And then it becomes like a part of a conversation, and it has
That's
to happen at least 3 times
Yes. I
for
always
them.
find it's attraction too, more than any advertising I've done. It's always that someone is attracted to like what you know or what I know. And they're like, how do you do that? What is that thing that you're doing? And that
Yeah.
really pulls them in as well, right?
Oh, it does. It does. And it could be as simple as like, like we always talk about the synchronicities or the what I call the God winks.
Yeah.
And it's all about just being in the flow.
Yes, absolutely. And I know we always say that when it feels like you're pushing against the tide, it's time to just step back, reevaluate, and know that it's not the right time, right? Like that divine timing thing,
Oh
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. It's like you're trying to go through a door that you want to open. And if that door's not opening, then you have to try a different door. Maybe there's a window up in the corner or something.
Right. It always is that waiting time. And I always know, like I know for me and for you, we've talked about this, that sometimes before you're ready to make a really big leap, something will like step in your way and you've got to go through a whole bunch of junk that you have to have faith to move through before you get to the next step. And I know that's happened to me in life. Whenever I was ready to make a leap, something would be right there in front of me. I'm like, oh goodness, if this wasn't here. And then you realize it doesn't matter that it's there. You just have to go through it to do the next thing. What was your experience with that? I'm sure we talked about this before.
Well, I know one of the things where if I know I'm getting ready to make a spiritual leap, all of a sudden I'm not in the flow. Things are not working out for me, and I'll feel like I'm behind, and
Yeah.
I'll try something and then it won't work, and I wonder why it won't work. So
Yes.
just with the business and the animals, and they come in and they'll give messages or something where they'll just show up in my yard. So
Yeah.
so that's like my first indicator where it's like, oh, what's going to go on now? And
Yes.
usually it's after talking with you, we kind of put the pieces together where it's like, this is why this happened because you're going for another spiritual
Yeah.
growth. So
Yeah, I've seen the same thing, and it gets frustrating because it's a matter of keeping faith in yourself as well as what's supposed to happen next, rather than saying if everything was perfect, I could be doing this, this, and this, because it's never perfect, right?
right. Oh yeah, exactly. Like when you're in those one of those challenging times, instead of looking at it as like, woe is me and you feel bad or something, you got to look at it as a lesson. Like, what can you learn from this?
Absolutely. It's always that opportunity to practice what we know and then transfer it to other people that we meet. How do you find your clients find you mostly, Gina?
I find that they find me through word of mouth. They've had
Yeah,
other people have given them the, oh, try this, that kind of
yes,
thing. And
yes,
usually with the animals, it's they find me with their last resort. They just kind of
yeah,
go, well, I've tried everything else, so I guess I'll try this. Where
yes,
it should
yes,
be upfront, where it's like something that they
yes.
could try immediately. But usually it's word of mouth. How about you?
Yeah. Yeah, I would think like 99% of my business has been word of mouth. And, also just being connected. So, like, if I do an interview on someone else's podcast and someone sees it, that might bring me someone. Or if I do a talk, like when I'm out in public or I do something like that, I get a lot of people that way because they actually see your face. They're like, oh, it's a real person and she's very nice and she knows what she's talking about. So, that's another great way. I know you used to do a lot of events also, Gina, out in your area in New Jersey. And what have you found, like, as far as client bases from when you do talks and stuff like that?
Usually you get there's the people who want to just like stick their big toe in the water and they start asking
Yeah,
questions. And then
yes,
there's
yes,
people who are just really interested and they'll just book an appointment right away. And then
that's
there's the
right.
ones that kind of they're interested at first, but then they disappear for gosh, close to two
Yes.
or 3 years, and then they circle back.
I know. It's so strange. I had a client that found me after, like, I don't know, she got my name from somebody that came to me 10 years ago. And the lady moved out of state. And I guess she didn't realize I do things virtually as well. And she sent this other girl to me from New Jersey. I'm like, this is so crazy.
Yeah.
But I know it's like sometimes you get the people that are just poking around and they're just at the very start of getting to know what you're doing, but they're not really ready yet for change. And I love the ones that are ready. They'll want to jump in and like, let's do this, let's try this out. Then they're
Mhm.
really ready, right?
Then you know they're ready. Exactly.
Yes,
What one
yes.
client found me where it was another person who wanted what I do with the animals. They didn't teach animals, so they with Reiki. So they got in contact with me for their student and said, "Hey, can my student get in contact with you?"
I love that. I love
So
that. I know that
that was
both,
how I knew
yeah,
I was in the flow.
there you go. And I know, like, you're right. When we are in the flow, things will just kind of appear, and like you're saying, the God wink thing or just those synchronicities. And it's
Mhm.
like, it's so cool because it's all of a sudden it's effortless and then it just moves along. And I love that feeling. That's so
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes,
It's
and it's
great.
like then the opposite happens, and it's just like, "Okay, regroup,
Yes.
figure out what the next step is, and don't quit." Like, that's the
There you
biggest
go.
thing.
Don't quit. And I think, I think that scares a lot of people. It's like once something comes up, they're like, oh, my journey has to stop because this happened. And I think that's the time when you really have to kind of pull yourself up and say, listen, I know I'm meant to do this. I just got to give myself a little grace and then step back in and do what I'm supposed to do. And I
Mhm.
know that's for all of us that are on this healing journey. We're always faced with something that's difficult while you're trying to do this other stuff that's so wonderful, right?
Oh, sure, sure. I know one
Yeah.
of the things that we always talk about is, not putting ourselves in the pickle jar, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, there you go.
we wanna surround ourselves with, positive people and others that are moving along rather than
Yeah.
someone who's kinda sour like the pickle.
Yeah, and I think too when you're around people that are talking like negative things, they're the first ones to kind of say, "Well, what about this? And what happens if no one comes to you? And what about this?" And and they'll throw those negative things at you because that's their mindset they're at. And if you listen, it may pull you down as well. So one of the things that I've also learned is just like know what your own vision is. And those other people that are giving you negative things, they just don't understand like your power or mission or the direction you want to go. Right.
Sure, sure. And we
Yeah.
always talk about like, checking in with your intuition, like really just kind of just seeing how it sits with you when
Yes.
someone else is telling you to do something.
Yes, one of the great things that we teach our both of us teach our clients is tapping into the power of what your inner wisdom is telling you before you decide. And a lot of our new clients that are really new and at the start may
Mhm.
not know exactly how to do that, so we guide them like with the heart energy and with just tapping in the way
Yeah.
that we've learned, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What do you find was the greatest thing that shifted your life for you? I hear your cute
Sorry
puppy
about
dog in the
that.
background. That's okay. Mine will do that too sometimes.
Oh,
What
okay.
was your big shift? What
As
was the
far as
big shift for you?
well, one of the things when I was first going on my journey, I had psoriasis from head to toe, and it was basically I had to accept myself for who I am. And once I did that, it was able to move forward. But it helped me jump on that spiritual path
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
was really at my wit's end with that. So, learning Reiki and opening up and going within, because when you first learn Reiki, it's all about for yourself. So that
Hmm.
was that gift. The
Yes,
other
yes.
things that brought me along my path were my children. They
Hmm.
really they're my teachers
Yeah, yep.
about what you can do, what you can't do, and so it's in addition to, it's not like you say, oh, I'm just going to go on a spiritual journey. It's bringing
Yeah,
everything that you already have in your life as a part
yeah.
of it.
There you go. It's kind of like I think of like the train. We're bringing all the people with us. We got the caboose hanging on the end, but we're dragging them along.
Right,
It's like
right.
we're in the engine of the train right now, and we're trying to just be present with all the stuff that we know, and hopefully our loved ones will want to take the train ride with us, right? Little wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
A little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But then the opposite, it's like, don't get on the crazy train. That's a big
Yes,
one.
yes,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
not, don't board the crazy train. But yeah, as far
yeah.
as more going along with like where I've been, there's always been a decision to make. Like since we were school teachers together, and I really thought
Mm,
I would be a teacher forever, and I am
yes,
now, but I'm just
yes.
not teaching in the classroom.
Yes, that's one thing that I think is really is cool because I too, I taught for so many years and I taught with you, and that was our passion and our love. But the teaching aspect of it is great because we can still do it with adults, and we're
Yeah.
just teaching them with the stuff we know in a different realm, and that's what's so exciting about it. I think when
Oh, it's
you're able to
very
shift people.
exciting when the newbies have that aha moment, and I'm 'cause that's what we both kind of share is once
Yeah,
someone learns with us, we're Reiki master teachers forever. Like they can always come
right.
back to us and ask questions, and
That's right.
um, you know, so
Yeah.
being a mentor, I like a lot.
Yeah, I love it. And I think, another thing is that, both of us have had the experience of people coming to us that might have been trained another way, and they had a lot of gaps in their learning. So one of the things I know we both offer is kind of like another step into learning a level with us or refining what they know. Because if there are if too many gaps, they're really not ready to go on to a higher level or a different level of Reiki unless they've kind of understood and integrated all the stuff that we're teaching them. So I know
Mhm.
you found this too, right? When you have clients, sometimes they'll tell you they learned, but they don't remember anything, or they learn completely differently and have all these little holes and gaps. So,
Right. Right.
yeah,
I think that, our background being school teachers, the organization and everything, the way we present the material really helps. Cause I've met a lot of students that, oh, wow, this is so organized, and
yes,
it just seems like a natural progression for us, but someone
yes,
who doesn't have that background perhaps is teaching it a different way. And that's
that's
where we
right.
want to bring them back to how we do it because
Yes,
they're reflecting us as students.
that's right. I recently had a situation where someone wanted to go further with their Reiki training. And one of the things that I really insist on is that the person review what they learned on the other two levels before I will allow them to go forward to a more advanced level because they're representing what we do as teachers, of Reiki, and they represent like how we would train someone. And for me, I don't, my conscience, I can't send someone forward unless I know they really understand. And
Mhm.
that's the same thing, when we taught kids, we did the same thing. You want to make sure that person has a good grasp of what's going on. Because I don't want somebody down the road to be teaching Reiki and have all these holes and has no idea what they're doing. That would be terrible,
Oh,
right?
it
And
would
to me, it's
be.
not in good conscience.
Right. And you
Yeah.
know what's very interesting, I know it's happened to you a bunch of times too, is as much as the student thinks they're ready, if they're not, something will take them out of the class or whatever they
Yes.
had planned. And so that's
Yeah.
why it's
And
really
every
important
time.
to know, because
Yes.
if they're wavering or whatever, and you kind of know, it's like, well, we'll see if you're going to, be able to go to
Yeah.
the class. Something always comes up.
Right, right. Or they'll ghost you for a while, or they'll
Yes.
they'll vacillate on what the heck they're doing. Because again, when I learned years ago, you just have this inner knowing that you're going to jump. You don't know what you're jumping into, but you something tells you you have to learn this or you have to do it. And
Oh,
that's the
sure.
thing that's like your inner guidance that's yelling at you, like, "Yep, that's the next step." And you
Yep.
don't have to always know what it is to step into it.
Oh, yeah,
To
and
learn.
I'm like, that's the difference with an open mind. Like, you can
Yeah.
have, an open mind to try different things, but then somebody who's, like, skeptical can still have that open mind, just take
Yes.
that first step, take that leap.
That's right. I call it like discernment. Like you can discern, sometimes when you're meeting someone too, you're discerning if that person is right for you or if the teacher feels right for you. And I always tell people if you get like a weird, like that's not the right person, you have to listen to it. Even when everything's telling you on paper that it's the right thing, if you don't feel it is, then I would say it's either not the right teacher or not the right time to do something.
Mhm.
Right? That's, you have to really listen to your inner guidance.
Oh, absolutely. I know, when you get new clients, and the first thing I wanna do is I wanna talk to them.
Yeah.
I wanna get a little conversation on the phone and
Mhm.
let them know that, yes, they're looking for me, but they need to see if I'm a good fit because I don't consider
Yeah.
myself to be a good fit for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. They're very lucky if you train them, Gina, because I know like you're so experienced with your animal work and working with the pet parent and the clients, and I've heard wonderful things, and you've worked with my pets as well. So I do hope people reach out when they're interested in animal work or what you teach, how to connect with their animals. That's super cool. We're coming up on a sponsor break, the Lightwalker's Path. So please stay with us. We'll be right back with more interesting conversation. Thanks. Welcome back to the Lightwalker's Path, Grow Your Spirit with Rosemary, and my guest, Be Calm Reiki, Gina Tupacheski. We're two New Jersey businesses that also work virtually, so we would love you to reach out to us. Okay, so we were just talking about different ways that we know our clients are ready. And one of the things that I know Gina and I both aspire to is high integrity and working for a person's highest good. So, Gina, when you have a client, how do you express like that you are working with high integrity? What are some of the things you do that show it?
Well, one of the things when they do reach out, I want to, initially make sure they know who I am when I tell them about my background. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I, I invite them to the appointment, so I make sure that they're going to keep the appointment. Where I'll email them, send reminder, maybe a
Mm-hmm.
text, things like that,
Yes.
and stress the importance of time, their time
Yeah,
and my time.
that's
So
right.
that's
Yeah.
that's a big one. When they arrive at my home, they're welcomed. I enjoy meeting new people, and then when I'm doing the treatment, I talk about things that I do, such as I make sure
Mm-hmm.
I'm grounded, which means
Mm-hmm.
I'm connected to Earth, and I don't have any other things going on in my life. Their
Yeah,
session is all I want to be focused on.
that's
So
right.
as a healer or a facilitator of healing for either the animal or the person, I'll make sure that I'm clear, and if I'm not, I'll have to reschedule. So
Yes, yes. I do the same. And I know that people love, like, when they're in my office, they walk in, I have, their tea, I have music playing, and they'll go, ah, I'll get that sigh, like they found their happy place. And, me too. I also make sure that my client knows, okay, you've got an appointment and it's important to me that you show up on time. It's disrespectful for me that if a person forgets they have an appointment, I mean, you get one forget, but I want them to honor my time and I want to honor theirs as well. It's important to me. And I schedule my days around like I have a client coming. So I want to make sure I'm there
mhm.
for that person as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's not it's a business, so it's not an afterthought. It's
Yes.
the time before and after to
Yeah.
to set aside, and also keeping to the schedule. Sometimes we have little chatty people who want to stay a little longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's kind of hard because you're like, you don't want to be rude, but on the same token, they book a certain amount of time, and that's important to keep that parameter so that if you have another client coming in, it doesn't cut into their time. So that's
Exactly.
really important too.
Exactly. I always
Okay.
make sure that I use essential oils to clear the room, to make
Yeah,
sure that the energy is completely ready for the new
that's
client. Pop
yes,
up the
yes.
pillows, make sure the table's all nice,
There you
you know.
go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same. I also wanted to mention that because it's this time of year, both of us will have gift certificates up on our website within the next few days, maybe sooner. And we want to let people know that that's a beautiful, quick way for people to purchase a service as a gift for somebody. And you and I both do virtual work as well. So it could be they can use the certificate toward long distance Reiki. I know you do animal work virtually or in person if they're
Mhm.
nearby. We have workshops and all kinds of things that they can use it for within the year. So we want to make sure that people know that they can go to our websites. Gina, what's your website again? Say it again.
www.beecalm, BEECALM, Reiki.com.
becalmreiki.com, and mine is
Mhm.
rosemaryd.com. So we want to make sure that you guys know that that's available. And also, if you're listening live and you're brave, you can call in and ask a question, or you can text from either YouTube or Facebook or whatever format you're listening on right now. And we would love to hear some questions from you. Okay. I also I pulled a few cards today. And I wanted to share these. And Gina, if you have yours too, it would be really cool. We can give a mini little guidance today for people that are listening. All right.
Okay.
So my first card that I pulled for everyone today is to be aware that you have an angel with you called your guardian angel. And that's the angel that knows your life path and your purpose and guides you along your way, along your journey. The second card I pulled today was listening. So usually when you listen, you'll hear bits of wisdom or advice, and we want you to take with you what you find the most valuable and the thing that you need right now to do. And one way to unblock yourself is the gift of music. So listening to music is a wonderful way to unblock your energy and to make you feel happy. So yeah. How
I
about you,
love that.
Gina?
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have some animal cards that I pulled. So the first one I pulled was the turtle card, and it's
Mm-hmm.
about retreating because and you need to stop trying to make things happen and just allow. So just like we talked about in the beginning, where that door, you can't push through that door if it's not open. So
Right.
that was
Right.
one of the and then I pulled the snake. So we're talking to
Oh, we know
healers.
that one.
So yeah, so some interesting stories about the snake. When I was on my transformation, snake stands for transformation. When I was on my spiritual path, one of the things that I do not like is snakes, and
Mm-hmm.
so they just showed up in my backyard on the azalea bushes.
Oh.
And there were like
Oh.
5 or 6 of them just all curled up at the top of the azalea bushes. And I kept talking to you saying, why are they here? And it was
Mm-hmm.
in that transition, that transformation of letting go of old skin, letting
That's
go of,
right.
yeah, and moving
Yeah.
forward. So that was really exciting.
Those darn snakes, Gina. Like, I had Fred in my garden. I called him Fred because every year Fred would show up when I was weeding, and
Yeah.
especially he made himself really well known when I first learned Reiki. He was always in my garden. He'd be like, looking at me. I'm like, "Why are you here, Fred? Go away. I don't like snakes." And he
Yep.
was very persistent about being in my garden. And I haven't seen Fred since, by the way. Him and his family, they must have moved away. They've been gone
Yeah.
for ages now.
Yeah, it
But
was it was that summer
yeah,
that in the azalea bushes that the snakes were there, and I don't mind if I don't see them. I don't. It's
yeah,
not like I'm going to go out and find snakes and say because they definitely have the purpose keeping the mice away and everything.
yeah,
So as far
yeah.
as an unblocking card, I pulled up lizard. It talks about your
Oh.
dreams.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the dreams are really interesting. I find a lot of times there'll be symbolism and things in a dream that guide you. And I know when I had my guest Michael Sheraton on, he's a dream expert from Ireland. He was really cool because he was saying that a lot of times if you don't know your path and purpose, there's things in your dream that will guide you, like horses, that is a power symbol, or being in the body of a bird, or birds in general would be like perspective and flying above problems. So a
Hmm.
lot of those symbols were helpful because I was able to track them back to things that I've dreamt of to kind of move me along. Also, the school dreams, when you graduate from high school to college or you get a diploma in your dream, that's like
Right.
a hey, good job,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know, like building on that dream, as far as when you dream you're in elementary school, it's like a little life lesson. But when you dream
Yes.
you're in like college or doing something else, there's a bigger life lesson coming.
Yes. And always one I don't really want and I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
Right, right. Like that dream is always an indicator, that's always like,
Yes.
uh-oh. And it's not really something
Uh-huh.
that we worry about. We kind of joke about it and laugh because you realize, oh, it was this. That's why,
Yes.
we're dreaming about it. But
Yeah. Yeah, hindsight too. Like a lot of times you figure it out after you went through something, you're like, oh, that was what that dream meant.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. Because, like in the journey with the animals and things in the beginning of it, you kept telling me you're going to talk to animals. And I was just like, oh,
I
and
say, no, I'm
now I
not.
am, and I'm so privileged and humbled because they have a lot to share with us. They really do. And
Yes.
the pet parent that loves them so much, when they do that for them, it's a really great opportunity for the pet to share. One
I
of
love
one of the
that.
things, one of the sessions I'd like to share with you is about a dog that had lost one of its buddies. They were going through some grief. And
Aw.
so in the meantime, when I did the communication, I was feeling a lot of, sad heart energy. And the dog kind of showed me an image in my mind and said, I want a stuffy. I want a stuffed animal. And so when I
Oh.
went to the pet parent, I said they would like a stuffy. Oh no, they don't like stuffies. And it was
Mm.
like talking to her, the pet couldn't communicate to the parent that, hey, I want a
Yeah.
stuffy, but it went through me. And so
Yes.
the dog got a little stuffy and it is so happy. She sent me pictures with the little stuffy and,
I love that.
very, very happy. So
I love
they,
that.
they really, the sessions really open up the love and the bond with
Right.
the pet parent and the pets.
I know that both of us too, like when we either train a person to work on people, which would be person Reiki, or animal Reiki in your case too, you as the person that's the conduit for healing have to be clear because you don't want the animal or the person to kind of have your garbage. You want to be clear enough so that when you're working, or even in the case of working with an animal, if the person isn't clear, the poor animal takes on all their junk and it
Mhm.
can make your animal sick. So that's another reason why what you do is important to guide the pet parent to be the best pet parent they can be as well.
Oh yeah. And to add to that, when we do sessions and things, if the person is not clear, if my student is not clear, then the animal's doing the work because the
Yeah.
animals love us so unconditionally. They're going to just share love. They're not going to, and so if we want to help them, we have to raise our vibration and be higher and be able to help them rather than they
Yes.
do all the work. And when you were just
Yeah.
describing, they get all the junk.
Right, right. And I think that's also like when you're a parent, sometimes, a pet parent, I'm talking about, it's really important to understand that the more centered and balanced you are, the more centered and balanced your pet will be. Because they'll also take on your unstable energies if you don't clear it. So we're coming up on another sponsor break. So as soon as we come back, we're going to chat more about our client experiences and what we do. So this is the Lightwalker's Path, and we'll be right back with you. Stay with us, please. Welcome back to the Lightwalker's Path, Grow Your Spirit with Rosemary, and my guest Gina Tupacheski of Become Reiki. And one of the things that we love to talk about is our clients often will ask, how do I know I am ready for a shift? And they want me to tell them, please tell me if that I'm ready. Like I can't tell them, but we can tell them what to look for so that they know they are ready. So one of the things that that we were talking about on break was you will have an inner fire. You don't know what it's for, but you just know you need to know something or to seek for something that is right under the surface. What's another one, Gina?
When we were talking about the like, you just want to, you have more questions, you have a thirst for knowledge about something, and
Right.
the curiosity, which builds on that inner fire. Um,
Love that.
the other thing, going back to those synchronicities, like, as
Yeah.
far as it's just, if you really start to look for them, they just kind of appear, and it's not like you're
Everywhere.
making this happen. They just come everywhere, and
Yes.
it's exciting because the more you look for them, the more they're there. Because
Yeah.
God and the universe, they just wants to give you that information.
Right.
But then what we do is we block it. We kind of like, oh,
Yes.
that was just a coincidence. That wasn't
Yes.
anything else.
Yes.
So,
They what do they say? God, a coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous.
oh, I love that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
that's absolutely true. I know, like in my own life, I had such like a thirst to read all the books across the shelves, and this is like back in 1992, like before I ever channeled, before I was a Reiki master teacher or anything. I had this incredible search going on, like seek and you shall find. I'm like, well,
Mhm.
where is it? And I'm going through all the books and I'm reading and reading, and finally one day I just said, enough. I've read all the books across the shelf. That's it. And then at that point is when I was ready to shift because I
Mhm.
had like immersed myself in all the let's say religions and world cultures and stuff I wanted to know so I can put it aside and do what I was supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you have this inner knowing, like this curiosity that just won't go away. And so that's when
Yes.
you start to ask questions, and I've heard of that before. What could you tell me more about that? And
Yeah.
that's kind of how people start talking to me about Reiki. And then when I
Yes.
talk to them about the animal piece of it, oh, you can do it on animals too? It's like, yeah,
Yes.
they love it
Yes.
even more than people do. One of the differences, a person gets their permission by showing up, but when you're working
Yes.
with animals, you want to ask them for permission. And it's
Asking the
basically,
animal.
yep,
Yeah.
if they
Mhm.
would like to receive Reiki. And there's
Oh,
been
I
a
love
couple
that.
of times where I was told no, they didn't want it that day. And sure enough, something happened at that household where the reason that I wasn't supposed to go that day.
Isn't that something? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's really interesting. And it's funny, but animals are so receptive. They take in the energy a lot quicker probably than we do because they're
Yes.
so open and they're so instinctual, right?
Oh, exactly. Because, like, I will describe a session when I'm working with the animal, and it's on and off. I create a
Yes.
Reiki bubble for them to come into, and they'll
Yes.
either step in or out of it. And so
Yes.
sometimes the animal will invite the pet parent to come into the bubble as well when I
I
go to
love
the
that.
different homes. So,
Yes. That's great. I know that you also work with horses, and I would love if someone contacts you and says, Gina, I have a lot of horses, or I have this racehorse, and what can you do? Because Gina can really speak to that animal and find out what's going on. So I hope people contact you for that as well. That would be super,
oh, that
right?
would be awesome. Yeah, I love
Yes.
horses. They're
Yes.
pack animals. So when I go to different farms, I'll be sent for one animal, but I'll be out in the field and all of them will come in and
Yeah.
take their turns of what they want to share and things. So yeah.
Yes, I've seen that happen, and it's so cute. Like I remember one day we were out and we were taking pictures, and you walked up to the gate, and all of a sudden the animals started coming in. I'm like, it was like I don't know what. It was just like they were coming to the king or something. They were all
Yeah,
coming over to
yeah.
me. That
Like
that
Snow
was
White,
fun.
like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
all come in and they're just so
Yes,
curious because it's
yes,
they're so smart with the Reiki energy. They just
yes,
know. And so what's interesting with the different animals is they'll share different things. Like I'll get images or I'll get sensations in my body, and then I'll be able to share things that I feel. So,
yes. I know you get voices too, like the difference of, let's say, my Sky, which is the older dog, is very, very like queenly and like,
oh
oh,
yes,
she's kind of entitled. And then the other one's like a little girl voice that's like, ah,
yeah,
real
yeah.
jumpy. And it's so true to the personality. It's hysterical.
Different personalities. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just like people. That is awesome. You can
It's
also
fun.
connect with deceased pets or no? or do
I
you?
do. I do.
Yeah.
It's happened on a few occasions. It's not
Yeah.
necessarily something that I will guarantee, because it
Yes.
with when you're working with animals, it's not about what the pet parent wants to learn or wants to know.
Yeah.
It's about what they
Yeah.
want to share. And
What they want.
so they want to share
Yes.
things that would help and create a bond, rather than share things that would make the pet parent sad. And, so
Yes.
working with deceased pets is a little bit more challenging, because it's often
Yeah.
connected to that
To the
loss.
sadness.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Wow. That's cool. I know that we both work with heart-centered energy, and I know that we both offer sessions where we help people connect with that energy. And I know you have an interesting service that's called the Heart to Heart Connection, where you can connect with a pet, and you also guide. Is it true that you guide the pet parent as well, or is it just working heart with the pet on your
Um,
heart to heart?
when I do the heart to heart connection, it's what most, like, an animal communicator would say, this is how they communicate with the animals. So the heart to
Right.
heart connection leads to the communication, because I think it's so important to establish a relationship before the animal's going to start chatting with me. So
I got you.
I'll
Yeah.
start by sharing Reiki, and then in
Right.
addition to that, I extend a just a cord that attaches my heart to their heart, and if they have anything to share. As
I
far as
love
the pet
that.
parent, it's usually after I've worked with the animal, because the communication is all about the pet.
Right.
I know
Right.
there's been a few times where the pet parent has wanted to be a part of the communication, so they've been in the same room where I've done like a virtual thing, and
Yeah.
it's surprised me. The
Yeah.
the dog was like, "Oh, mom's here," okay,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was exciting that it worked that
Yeah.
way, because it's all
Yeah.
about the bond and the communication. So I
Right.
will work with pets with heart to heart.
Yes.
And then in person, when I'm doing the Reiki session for people as well, you're using that energy to work with them.
Yes. Yes. I agree that it really is the person or the animal that kind of leads what needs to be done. And I know a lot of times too, when I'm working on a client, they might say, "Oh, what do you get from my body? What do you know? What do you know?" Because they know that I'm very intuitive, and many times they will get information. But sometimes it's just about the energy. Sometimes just someone just needs to chill and relax and just suck the energy in. One of my clients talked nonstop the whole way till I got to her knees, and finally she stopped talking. And I'm
Mhm.
like, my head was spinning because she just was just blabbering, and I didn't know why. And I realized she had all this pent up energy from throat chakra that she just needed to dump. And once it
Mhm.
was dumped, she was able to relax for the rest of the time. And then after that, it was a different experience when I worked on her. But
Yeah.
their body and the person kind of knows they're energetically how to let the energy in or not, and that's part of what we do.
I know, working with dogs and even cats, that their throat chakra is often blocked. So we'll work on
Oh,
clearing that, because maybe that's why they become aggressive, because they're just not being heard.
oh,
So
right. They want to tell you something.
they want to tell us
Yeah.
something. Exactly. So I'll do a
Wow.
lot of clearing with throat and heart.
Yes, yes, that's really cool. What type of people or clients do you resonate with the best, personality wise?
Ones that love their pets unconditionally. They just want to
Yeah,
do whatever they can for their pet, and be the best they can be, and
yeah,
it's not looked at as, oh, I have to do this, or this is something that's on the schedule. It's looked at as an
yeah,
opportunity to help grow that relationship.
yes. Yes.
That's
For
what.
me, I love people that are on a self-growth path. So
Mhm.
anyone that is willing to be open to an experience, like even if they've never come for Reiki and they tell me they're all jammed up like one of those rubber band balls, I'm like, fine, just
Right.
lay down, relax, don't expect anything, don't have an expectation, just relax.
Yes.
And if they're able to do that, it is very transformative, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. The expectation is easier when someone doesn't have it. You know what I mean? Like, when you're
Yeah,
working
yeah,
with either the pet parent first and then the pet, if they have an expectation like, oh, you're going to clear this, or this bad habit's going to go away, that makes it more
hmm
difficult, because I'm just there
absolutely.
to create the communication and the healing. Because we're not doing the healing. It's the body that's
That's
balancing.
that's right.
So
That's right. They're
that's
taking it
where,
in.
yeah, we're creating a balanced body, and then the balanced body heals both in pets and people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, okay. What do you love to do for fun? I know, we talked about this. I know we both love to hike because we've done that together, and we have our story about me making a wrong turn and walking. Both of us walked, I think, 7 miles in the cold weather before we found the way out of the darn path that I was supposed to take a right and I made a left.
Oh
But
yeah,
what do
that
you
was
do?
that was so fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hiking is one of my main things. I also love walking,
Hmm.
spending time outside. Like one of the things
Yeah.
that really helps me ground, clear, and center is just going outside. I'm
Yes.
not a tree hugger, but just being there in the tree's presence. Because
Yes.
where I live, I have a lot of pine trees
Yeah,
in
those
the
are
front
great.
yard. Yep. And they're really good for, clearing and centering. I love to explore new places. Like
Hmm.
when we're doing that hiking parts, one of the things that my husband loves to do is to do the same thing over and over and over again. I like to
Yeah.
switch it up where it's like, let's go a
Yes.
different direction. Let's find a
I
new
do that
path.
too. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bike
Yeah.
riding too. So is that anything outdoors is my go-to.
Hmm.
Indoors, just, looking at new things, creating,
Hmm.
looking around my home and like deciding what I want to decorate differently or
Hmm.
things like that is also fun. I love
Yeah.
cooking,
I love
so
cooking
trying new
too.
recipes.
Uh-huh.
So that's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's that's a lot of fun too.
I
I'm
do
also
too. And I think
I'm
it's very
also
creative.
traveling in my little part time. I wear another hat. So exploring new places to help clients to travel too is one of the things that's fun.
You do, your specialty too is like spiritual traveling, right? At,
Yes.
at where you
Yeah.
work at Skylands? Yeah. So they can
Mhm.
contact you for to find you at Skylands Travel for
Right.
spiritual traveling,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
tying the two together is what I'm really working at with the Reiki and finding
Yes.
spiritual places that we can have retreats and different things. Remember when we
I
went
love.
on that retreat in Omega? That
Oh
was
my
so
God, didn't
fun.
you love Omega? That was fun.
Yes.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
the Reiki retreat weekend. That was a lot of fun over there.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great experience. I just came across another place. It's actually a temple out in New Jersey. Let me just look at the time, so we're going to come up pretty soon on a break. It's a temple in New Jersey that is in I think Robbinsville, but I found it on the internet. I was like, it's super cool. It was I guess it's Buddhist. I don't know, but I want to explore that. It's about 70 miles from us, but it's like, oh, it looks like such a cool place to see. It's like you're in a
Oh,
whole different country. So
sure.
yeah, there's many places around. I
Yeah.
know dip your toe in, and I'll ask you about that later because I in my course, my free course, I explain different places that are nearby to us here that people can explore. All right, so we're coming up on a sponsor break. This is the Lightwalker's Path. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Lightwalker's Path, Grow Your Spirit with Rosemary, and my guest Gina Tupacheski of Becom Reiki. And we're both New Jersey business owners. We work virtually and in person. So, what I do for fun was your question was. So, I love to hike and walk as well. I'm also an organic gardener, and I was on a podcast locally to show my garden and my gigantic sunflowers last year. And I also love to write. I have 10 published books, and I'm working on another one that Gina is reading for me. Thank you, Gina.
Oh, I'm
And I love to cook. That's the other thing I really love to do. I like to make healthy meals. Yeah, yeah. So, okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, if you were to have like a wish for the next thing you want to do in your business right now, what would you do?
I would love to create a retreat, like either a weekend retreat or something, working with a beautiful place in New Jersey for everybody to come and do, whether it be like a meditation outside and then Reiki sessions, angel readings, just like bring it all together and create a beautiful weekend retreat.
Yeah, that's really cool. Or even a day if we can do something in the summer, because I have quite a large yard here, and now it's more open that we have it all landscaped and fixed.
Oh
Um,
yeah, you
that
have a
might be
beautiful waterfall in
something,
the
but
front now.
yeah, we got the Angel Waterfall. Yeah,
Hmm.
we had done a couple of them called Ignite Your Spark in the past, and those were a
Hmm.
lot of fun. We had my friend the sound healer. Then you were there doing your talk about animals, and I did my angel stuff. It was really fun.
Yeah.
If there's anyone out there that hosts something locally in New Jersey and would love really interesting speakers or that, please keep us in mind. I love doing guest speaking too, so. If anyone's out there and you're nearby, would love.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
we'd definitely love to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Because I think it's the next step as far as like, creating a place or a time and a
yeah,
space. You have this beautiful space. Your
yes,
office is gorgeous, and your grounds
yeah,
are. I love that outdoor space that you have now
yes, yes.
with
Yeah, it's
the
nice and open.
yep, it's nice.
Yeah,
It's nice and open, and of course, in the summer, all your gardens are, colorful
yeah,
and pretty. So yeah.
yeah. It's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Okay.
How about you? What are you working on?
Well, I'd love to get this podcast seen by more people, so that would be interesting to do. And I'm going to explore, how to get it out there more. I'm working on different things, hiring different people to make sure that like my website is visible and such.
Hmm.
And I think that's probably the next thing for now. I want to get out the book, the Biona book, Child of Lights, that you read
Okay.
through. So I want to make
Yeah.
sure that's the next one out there. Maybe get some eyes on that and some people looking at my books.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So
That,
yeah, I'm hoping that'll be.
yeah.
But
It's definitely going to be. It's on. It's on its way.
it's on its way.
On its way. Yeah.
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 Are you
That's
doing
one.
an animal class coming up soon? Or did you post one yet for this year? An animal
Um.
Reiki class
Yeah.
or something?
I have one student who took Animal Reiki Part 1 with me, and so Part 2 will be coming up, and
Okay,
then in February I plan on posting another Animal Reiki 1 class because
good,
it's
good.
important to learn them both at the same time. Because what happens
Yes.
to animals is you need your vibration high enough,
Mm,
and
that's right.
when you learn the first level, if you're just going to be working with animals, you can learn it just for animals, and then you go to second level, and then you're able to work and heal with them. You can't
Yeah,
do animal Reiki at the first level.
that's right. Because you're not clear enough to allow that for the animal without them taking up your junk, right? Because that
Exactly.
that's still clearing, still clearing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's still clearing. Yeah. I've been working on my website. That's one of the things that I want to
Hmm.
forward and have it
Hmm.
seen more, because that's one of the things that it always gets pushed back. It's like you're
Yeah.
working on other things, and then it's, oh, got to get to
Yes.
the website again. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I did want to mention we both do virtual sessions. So I know you do a lot of your sessions virtually, as do I. I have some transformational talk sessions, workshops, books, courses, and I have some self-study courses. And the free one is called Dip Your Toe In, and it's really for really new seekers that want to see what is available to them. And that's just one way that you can, get your knowledge base a little bit filled up there to learn what's available. And you took the course, Gina, right?
Yeah, I did.
Were you able to get through it pretty easily?
Yeah, it's a beautiful course. It's all about just, you're curious and you're seeking. And so what can
Hmm.
you find? And you give examples, you have cute videos that
Hmm.
encouraged me as the partaking in that course. So yeah, it was
Good.
great.
Okay, good. Yeah, I have a whole
Enjoyed
bunch there. I
that.
have Be Your Own Superhero. That's where you kind of like a lot of people feel displaced when their kids are older, so that's
Mhm.
another thing. So this is the finish up of our show today. So if you want to learn more about workshops, sessions, books, or courses, contact me at rosemaryd.com. That's my website, Hands of Light by Rosemary in New Jersey. And you can also contact Gina, Become Reiki, and find out what Gina does with animals and people. And keep us in mind. We would love to hear from you. Give us your thoughts, write your comments, and send us an email.
Yep,
Thank
we'd
you.
love to hear from you.
All right, thank
Thanks for
you. This is
everything.
the Light Walker's Path. Grow your spirit with Rosemary. Please check back on Tuesday at 10 Eastern for the podcast again. I'll be having another interesting guest on Tuesday. Thank you.
I'm your host, Rosemary DiTrolio, and you've been watching and listening to The Lightwalker's Path. Learn about my workshops, sessions, courses, and more at info@rosemaryd.com. My website, rosemaryd.com, Hands of Light by Rosemary. Have a blessed and beautiful day.